How do you think family expectations or pressures have affected your choices in life? My brother and I, 65 and 57 respectively, talked about how we are still trying to earn Dad's pride. So I would say quite a bit. Unfortunately, they broke me in early adulthood, shattered my dreams. Thankfully, I'm back at it with my own confidence now. My family has realized I'm just going to do what I want. My mom regrets not supporting me, encouraged me to go back to school for those old broken dreams. My mother told me that the absolute perfect man is out there for me. She told me that repeatedly and I believed her. I wish she'd taught me more about getting along with people instead, because I was way too picky when I was younger and did not have the skills and temperament to get along later on. A lot of effects. Our actions are based on what our environment dictates. Family expectations are like a weight on your back, kinda makes you trip sometimes, but also helps you stand tall. No easy balance though. A lot of narcissists, parents and unhealed parents. My mother expects me to date white men. The closest I've gotten to that has been a guy who looked like Vladimir Harkonnen from Dune. I've received a lot of bad advice from family over the years, who promptly disavowed any accountability. I kept going back because of filial duty. This taught me eventually to assert myself away from my family. I won't go into details, but that was a wise decision. In my early 20s, I decided I wanted to emulate my grandfather, who was a family man with happy, well-adjusted kids, one of whom is my mom. I chose him over my other grandfather, who was an objectively exceedingly successful public figure, with buildings named after him in a major city. He was successful, but was divorced and his children struggled to maintain cordial relations. Both served in WW2 and the Korean War. Both were excellent in many respects, but one prioritized family life. The other prioritized accomplishments, very nice stuff. As the oldest grandchild, I was supposed to be the family Moses. I abdicated that role early on. So, I have 5 kids and a beautiful mountain home and lots of friendly acquaintances, but I am not a multimillionaire like my brother or cousins. I'm also still on my first wife, 25 years in. I'm generally very happy, but there are occasions when I feel like I wasted my talents by purposely bypassing opportunities. Used to, but my parents realized I'm a loose cannon that no one could tie me down, so they let me float by with some support, but mostly I have freedom to do my own stuff. They just don't care enough to listen to my experiences, and that's fine by me. I rather they don't know than stopping me from doing. I always think what they'll think and whether they'll support it. They say be yourself, but the moment it happens they start guilt-tripping you. It's a vicious, never-ending cycle. Expectations? Not a bit. I literally ran away from home as soon as I legally could and did my own thing. Pressure? That's an entirely other thing. Sometimes I wish they'd all just go away and leave me alone. Narc father only ever talked about my problems and failures, so by the time I got a job I just stayed there. He destroyed all motivation to try, complained that I wasn't ambitious, then destroyed any ambition through more griping. He'll probably be at my job until I die. Watch Encanto. Family expectations are the promise that never gets filled. The goalpost that just keeps getting moved. Sometimes you get lucky and barely touch it, but not for long. Case in point, I went to school and got a degree in accounting. Aunt told me she would give me a job at her company if I got a degree. Well, I got the degree 5 years ago and never got that job. She couldn't even get me an interview. 0. I don't have the luxury of not being hyper successful in life. My family lost everything. If I am unable to provide them with the life they've always deserved, then I was a failure of a son. Simple as that. I've been working through it with therapy. It's also one of the reasons I hate myself so much. It's like every step you take in life, there's all your family able to have an opinion, grip your feet, and pull in different directions as you're stepping. Eventually, you're afraid to take a step because you risk falling every time. I had 4 family members who had such a grip on my life, I'll always be suffering because of it. I'm studying at one of the top universities in UK while regretting every single thing that has led me to saying yes to this degree.